Welcome to Sacral Chakra Yoga, focusing on just below the belly button. The sacral chakra stores sexuality, creativity, emotions, and restoring balance. We will be focusing on the hips and the bandha that is located just below the belly button. Grab yourself a mat, some blocks if you have, and a strap. If you don't have blocks, you can use pillows or bolsters or even rolled up towels just to support you. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a tie or a belt. Let's go ahead and locate our sacral chakra just below the belly button, just above the base of the spine. All fours position is hands under shoulders and knees in line with hips. Dropping your chest down and keeping your hips up for sleepy kitty pose. Taking a few deep breaths here, allowing yourself to find tranquility, peace, and surrendering to the pose without resisting and tightening the hips or the shoulders. Inhale and bring your head up. Bring your left foot out and opening up the left hip. Just bringing your body down with gravity, no force, no resistance. And we can go over to the right leg, noticing the difference between the two sides without judgment. And we're going to go into some spinal twists. So from all fours, just bringing the left hip to the left ear and bringing the right hip to the right ear. You're welcome to drop the chest down if this is comfortable, or you can just stay in the tabletop position, stretching out side to side, loosening the neck, and just rolling in whatever way feels comfortable, releasing tension. For cat-cow, inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, and lift the hips. As you breathe out, push out of the mat, reaching up, curving the spine like a cat. Using your breath to flow through your cat and your cow. An optional variation, you could come into upward dog as you inhale, and as you exhale, melt down to the ground. Using your inhale to curve the spine and looking over the shoulders to stretch. Exhale, melt down to the ground, flowing naturally with your breath. If the upward dog is uncomfortable, you're welcome to stay in your all fours tabletop position. Just waking up the body here and using our breath to stretch and to relax. Slowing down your breath, deep inhale, hold, and deep exhale. Using this time in your practice to connect with your body, to be mindful and to connect with your breath, slowing down the heart rate. Inhale, cow. As you exhale, cat. Good. And from here, we're going to go into our upward dog. Bring the chest forwards, hips down, and lifting up your crown, elongating the kundalini, the energy from the root of your spine to the crown of your head, erecting your back muscles. And you can look over your shoulders to release. I like to bring my toes up to get a quad stretch as well. Let's bring the hips up and back for child's pose, rounding the spine that we've just stretched and worked in, and rewarding it with a comfortable, serene, relaxing, and safe position. Balasana, child's pose. You're welcome to come back to child's pose at any point in the practice if you feel overwhelmed or overexerted, or you just need to recenter and come back to your breath. Remember that this is your practice. This is just a guide, and your body's message to you is always the most important message. So starting on your feet or on your knees, inhale, bring the arms up and hinge at the hips, bringing the hands down to the ground and down onto your knees in your all fours, tabletop position, checking your alignment. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin and the hips, stretching the back. Exhale, push out of the mat, rising up with the back and stretching, flowing and breathing. Allowing the spine to twist and go in circles if that's comfortable, side to side, up and down, sending all the energy through the kundalini from the base of your spine to the crown of your head and back. Think of shaking a bottle of orange juice and mixing up all the concentrate, allowing the digestive system to get in the nitty-gritty curves and sending everything through the body, energy, light, and breath. Let's go ahead and grab our blocks. This is Balasana, and you're tucking your knees in and bringing your feet in front of you. So go ahead and practice this Balasana, bringing your feet in front of you. And if you're also able to bring your feet back behind you, this is called Lolasana. So feel free to practice this Balasana, Lolasana, back and forth as many times as you need until you're ready to incorporate it into your flow. There are a few variations that we can incorporate if you are more advanced or more of a beginner. that the next pose that we're going to do is downward dog. Tucking the toes and lifting the hips up. As you rise up with the hips, you can walk your dog and wag your tail. So dipping your hips from side to side to wag your tail and bending one knee at a time, walking your dog. Of course, I will show you a variation. If you have more upper body strength, you can balance your feet on the blocks or even on the wall to come into your downward dog, releasing some pressure from the hamstrings, or even coming off of the feet entirely and focusing on upper body balance, allowing the lower body to take the back foot. Feel free to play around with the variations during your flow, and if you're not comfortable with downward dog and you'd rather do an inversion or a handstand, you're welcome to do so. I don't have the upper body strength, so if you'd like to take a rest during your practice, like I'm doing now, you're always welcome to. What's important is to be connected and to be mindful, to enjoy the journey. If you're ready, let's get back into our flow. From your tabletop position or from plank, inhale, bring the hips up to the sky, stretching up towards the heavens and elongating the spine and the hamstrings. You are welcome to come into your handstand variation here. Either way, the focus of this pose is balance, either only on your hands or evenly between the hands and the feet. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. As you exhale, look over the shoulders. Inhale, stretch, plank, rise up with the hips. Exhale, downward dog or handstand variation. Holding for 3 deep breaths, focusing on our balance and finding comfort in the serenity. Enjoy the freedom of playing around with your poses. One more deep breath here, and you're welcome to come into your child's pose. Good, and using Ulasana to bring the feet forwards in front of you, we're going to grab our strap and come into our boat pose. Again, there are a few variations here. The strap goes on the balls of your feet, and you use the strap as a pulling device to lengthen the muscles in your legs or to reach the feet if you can't yet reach. More beginner friendly would be keeping the knees slightly bent or at 90 degrees even. If you are more intermediate or you'd like to challenge yourself, you can straighten the legs. A bent boat does not mean a curved back, so the spine still needs to be as straight as possible. The objective is to rise out of the ground with the body, only using the sacral chakra as a point of contact with the earth. The spine is still erect and the muscles are still strong. Using your breath to help you balance. Deep, slow, and steady breaths. When you are satisfied with how much you've played around with your boat pose, we're going to stretch into the hips further. Using your blocks or rolled up towels here to aid you in your stretch. Blocks can be very useful, especially now with the hamstring stretch. Placing a block under your hips will add more gravity in your stretch. Bring the hands out to your sides. Inhale, rise up, lengthen the spine, reach forwards. Exhale, melt down to the ground, allowing the hamstrings to stretch slowly over time and not quickly. Inhale, rise up to seated. We're going to play around with boat pose. You're welcome to remain in your bent leg boat pose if this is comfortable, rising up with the chest, but I'll show you a few variations of half boats and more intermediate boat if your hamstrings are giving and if you're able to rise up, reaching up and only making contact with your sacral chakra to the ground, focusing on balance. A big part of the yoga journey is every day developing a little bit, and consistent effort over time will result in great changes. But these changes will not happen in your first or second practice. Be patient with your body, forgiving, and continue trying every day to be better. Good, and we're going to come in our wide-legged pancake fold. So using your pillows or blocks under your knees, just to allow the hamstrings to rest a little bit, trying to, instead of curving the back, keeping it almost straight and bringing your chest lower down to the ground, easing into the hips and taking deep, slow breaths, little bit by little bit, edging forwards, going deeper over time. Remember to take deep breaths, using your shoulders as a guide, weighing them down towards the ground. You're welcome to rest on your hands or your elbows if you can reach. If you have the ability to bring your forehead onto the ground, you're welcome to do so here, allowing the hips to gently open as with every exhale you become heavier and sinking deeper into the pose. You can use your blocks for under your hands and legs, or just the hands and allowing the legs to straighten out and deepen into the hamstring stretch. Using the blocks as a tool, you can stack them if your head needs support, or you can rest your elbows on the blocks, aiding you to go deeper into the stretch. Our goal is to open the hips, open the hamstrings, and elongate the spine. Feel free to inhale, rise up out of the stretch. Adjust your hips, align yourself, and as you exhale, come back into the stretch. Using your breath as a tool. Take your time with this pose, as it will not come quickly. But over time, even 1 minute holding in this pose, you can develop a lot. You can progress even more with 90 seconds or 2 minutes. Deep breath in, relieve the strain. As you exhale, become heavy and deepen the stretch. Walking your hands further down, bringing your head lower to the ground, easing your body to open up and relax, using your pillows or bolsters to support you. Breathing deeply to allow the central nervous system to feel safe and trusting the journey. Good, and 5 more deep, slow breaths here. The mantra for the sacral chakra is VAM. Deep inhale, and as you exhale, VAM. Focusing on balance, focusing on opening up the hips, releasing all the tension that's stored and all the emotions that we carry. Good, and on your next inhale, walk the hands back in. Bring your head up. You're welcome to open the throat chakra and drop the head behind you. Otherwise, just sitting up tall. Good. And waking up the hips, pushing the pelvis forwards, allowing the blood to run back into the hips. You're welcome to rest here. Otherwise, we're going to go back into our forward fold, bringing your legs a little bit wider, walking the hands down, and succumbing into the pose. On your next inhale, walk the hands back in, rise up with your chin, extend the hands out, reach up, lengthening the spine, and as you exhale, bring the hands down, using them on the legs to bring the legs in and coming back into our boat variation. Either bend knees or straight legs. Either way, rising up out of the ground, reaching towards the heavens. You can pistol grip the big toes and straight arms, straight legs, extending upwards, or keeping the knees bent and only rising upwards with the chest allowing the feet to come down. Playing with your boat pose, you can crisscross your legs, allowing one leg to have a deeper stretch while the other leg can rest, and switching over, allowing the body to adjust to this new position. Another variation for boat pose is a half figure 4, crossing the ankle under the knee, getting a glute stretch as well as focusing on balance. Beautiful work. Let's go ahead and plant the feet and let the knees open up to the sides. As our focus is the hips, we're not quite done yet with the hips. Let's twist over to the side, looking over the shoulder, and on the other side, allowing the intestines to rejuvenate. Good. And from here, curving the spine, bringing your head down to your feet, and you can hug your legs. If you cannot reach, you're welcome to use bolsters. Use your arms as weights to weigh your legs down. Deep breath in to come up, and for turtle pose, bringing the arms underneath the legs and resting the head on your feet. The turtle is a symbol of stability, longevity, and never giving up. Use the blocks to your aid. Go as far as you can, but don't give up. An optional strength exercise for the hip flexors is to lift your feet off of the ground and place them either on top of the blocks or on the outside, on the inside. These exercises will help your body make the hip flexors strong for many poses like firefly, lunges, and many more. Good, and Lolasana, using the blocks under your hands, sweeping the legs behind you, coming back into your tabletop position. Using no blocks, you can still achieve the desired result, but the blocks are just there to help you. Let's stretch out the hips from side to side. If you'd like to walk your hands down, resting on your elbows, resting on the block, resting on your forehead. If you'd like to open the triceps and open the heart chakra, we can stretch the shoulders if this is comfortable. Otherwise, just resting the head for a minimal stretch, seeking comfort and stability. If puppy dog pose is not comfortable for you, you're welcome to rest in child's pose, bringing the hips down to your feet. But if the quads are not able to stretch and accommodate for child's pose, you're always welcome to use puppy dog pose. Whatever works best for your body. Good, and bring the chest up and chaturanga. Exhale, melt down to the mat. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, melt down to the mat. And coming back up into your all fours, sinking down into child's pose, balasana. Slowing down the breath, slowing down the heart rate, coming back to your center. When you're ready, plant the hands, rise up. From all fours, we're going to thread the needle, bringing your right arm through and resting on your right cheek. Option to bring the left arm up and over for a bind. Deep breaths here. An upper back stretch. 3 deep breaths here. And then release the hand. Inhale, come back to center before we thread the left arm through, resting on the left cheek, and option to bring the right arm over for a bind, twisting the upper back, especially if we sit hunched over a computer or a steering wheel for most of the day. And bring the hand overhead, come back to center, rising up into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And as you push up and push back in your downward dog or your handstand variation. Good, and for our last salutation for today's practice, from downward dog, whatever your variation is, inhale, come into plank, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, upward dog or cobra, push up out of the mat, exhale, push back with the hips. Inhale forwards, exhale down, inhale up. Good, and from downward dog, bringing the hands in towards the feet, Bolasana, onto your balancing sacral chakra, rolling down one vertebra at a time, lying flat on your back. And windshield wipers, dropping the knees to the side, optional looking over to the opposite side, just gently easing the legs out, rewarding the body for a job well done. As you inhale, bring the arms up to the sky. As you exhale, cross over and bring your hands to your shoulders, gently hugging yourself, feeling the warmth in your hands, feeling the warmth of your body. Bring your knees up and together, crossing over one leg and attaching at the ankles. This is your eagle. You can inhale, bring your elbows to your knees. Exhale, release. Cross over, switching arms, switching legs. And again, inhale, bringing your elbows to your knees. Exhale, release. Bringing your feet over your face, Halasana, cloud pose, and going into your shoulder stand, not resting on the neck, aligning the arms for support, and raising the legs up towards the sky. Sarvangasana. Keep your body perpendicular to the ground. I'm on a slant, but I am perpendicular to sea level. Let's come into eagle legs on either side, just playing with the pose, enjoying the inversion. Remember, balance is our focus in this practice. Back into your plow pose, and as you exhale, gently bring the legs back down to the ground, and resting on your back, facing upwards. Let's reach the hands overhead and stretch the spine. Coming up into seated Lolasana. Swing your legs underneath you behind you. Here in hero pose, we're going to end our practice. Thank you for joining me today. Let's bring our hands out to our sides. Inhale, reach up, stretching up to the heavens. As you exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Good, and shake out the fingers, releasing all the tension. As you inhale, grasping all the light in your palms. As you exhale, bring the light into your heart so that you can share it with others. Release the bad and enjoy the good. Namaste.